Red vs. Blue, Season 13, Episode 11, has probably my favorite fight scene of all just because of its complexity. Anywhere from the fight scene itself, down to the dance moves, down to the setting, I love every second of it. But there's just one thing about it that throws me off. It's something that Miles said during the Art of Chorus video on RoosterTeeth.com.
Yeah, to stroke your own ego is more like it.
Oh, please. Like you're one to talk.
Another set that we got to design was the big ice fight. Originally, the fight in episode 11 was just on top of the mountain near this frozen lake, and it ended with Carolina getting plunged into the lake and sinking to the bottom.
You hear that? Carolina was supposed to die in this episode. And it just throws me off completely because that would have changed the whole entire season. Or would it? Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about what exactly would be different in this season.
Incoming!
First of all, the obvious one. Carolina and Church would no longer be part of the crew. But first, let me just quickly start off by saying I'll ignore any sort of mental effect, apart from maybe Caboose. And also, I own none of these videos or images, all belong to Rooster Teeth. And thanks for watching this video. First of all, Doyle and Carolina would have never had the conversation in episode 13, where Doyle quotes what he thinks to be Shakespeare, and this would have in turn made it so that Doyle does not have his final words of, I would like to quote the great William Shakespeare, but to be completely honest, I don't think he said it. Just a quick side note, there are many variations to that quote. None of them do come from Shakespeare, but the one that he said comes from Mark Twain. Next, Carolina and Church would have never had to come up with this idea during episode 15 in Harmonia Part 1 to blow up all of Harmonia to kill off every single person who's still in there. So the entire season could have ended right over here if they had died. This would be because of the no clear plan on what to actually do next. But even if they did die, and somehow someone got the plan to blow up Harmonia, there would be one thing that would definitely have changed throughout these two episodes. Rather than Carolina actually fighting Sharkface, it would have to be Washington, seeing as Sharkface wanted to get revenge on every single freelancer he could. And let's be honest, seeing as Washington was the 6th place, the last place actually, on the leaderboard in Season 9, we can assume that Washington would not have survived this battle. Therefore leaving no freelancers alive for Sharkface to kill, potentially meaning that he would go AWOL, knowing that he would be able to survive anything. Or he would come after the Reds and Blues now, still being affiliated with Project Freelancer. From here on out, my ideas go a bit into branch mode, and so I'll be covering them separately. I'm going to be completely honest, but apart from episode 18, although Washington is one of my favorite characters, him dying wouldn't have that much of an effect on the plot of Season 13, seeing as the only thing he's done after that specific episode where he would potentially die is try and kill Felix and Locus. And seeing as they didn't die, he wouldn't really have much of an effect. The only thing I would change is that rather than Carolina and Washington, I'd assume it would actually be the Reds and the Blues together against Felix and Locus at this episode. And this is all assuming a lot of stuff. Assuming that, 1, in episode 16, without Carolina's help, that the Reds and Blues still would have managed to escape, let alone killing half of Carlin's men at least. It's also assuming that the Reds and Blues still managed to get that whole idea of of Felix and Locus having to activate the Purge personally, and sending a team still to take it out, while also taking out Carlin's ship. And seeing how Simmons is the only actually intelligent one among the Reds and Blues, apart from the freelancers, this would be highly unlikely unless Dr. Grace somehow managed to give in her input as well. And now assuming Washington is somehow powerful enough that he could take down Sharkface, which again I seriously don't see happening ever, the main thing that would change is just that only Carolina would be not in this battle, and I'd assume that Felix would have to fight Tucker over here instead of Carolina. Well, I honestly don't know who would replace Washington if Washington were to die. And assuming Washington and whoever replaces Carolina survive the attack on the Purge, there's also the message that has to be sent. Now, it wouldn't be Church's speech anymore, it would be probably some other character's speech. I'd assume Tucker or even Washington, probably. Seeing how they're probably the two most important characters now that Carolina's gone, I'd assume that one of those two would have to make a speech, and it probably wouldn't be as good as Church's. Also, seeing as Carolina was the one who had to destroy the Mantis, I'd assume that Washington would have to replace her, and therefore Tucker would have to be making the speech. And again, well, actually not this time. I was going to say that Washington wouldn't be able to destroy the Mantis, but he did destroy Pelican back in like season 7 or 8, so he really shouldn't have a problem. Or wait, was it season 6? And wasn't it a Falcon? I honestly have no idea. I need to remember this. And assuming everything actually does happen, and somehow the Reds and Blues choose to get on the ship to go to Safkan, blah, 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 they would not be able to figure out that it's Phyllis, and Phyllis would not recognize the director, and therefore Phyllis would not actually help them in going against the chairman. This would leave the Reds and Blues essentially to die on Karn's ship, but they'd probably fight their way through knowing them. They'd probably try to be the heroes no matter what, and they'd probably somehow figure out where to go on the ship. And from here, they either find the chairman by accident and confront him about it, maybe kill him or something, or they come up to the control room, the proper one that they're supposed to go to anyways. If they do make it onto it, they'll somehow deactivate the mantises. Beats me how they'll do it, but they'll somehow do it knowing them they're super lucky. And now is the end of Season 13, where we have this final battle between the Reds and Blues and the Pirates who have cornered them. Yes, they would all be ready, theoretically speaking, but Tucker would not have the metasuit, and therefore they would have a less chance of winning. The season wouldn't end off with Church fragmenting himself, but instead it would end off with potentially the Reds and Blues getting fragmented by the space pirates. In all honesty, they'd have the best chance at actually defeating Hargrove had they had Church, and now without him, they can't really do much at all. And I'd like to bring up a final topic about this whole Carolina and Church dying thing. If Carolina was to die, Church wouldn't technically have to go too, right? I mean, he's connected via neural implants, but would he actually die? There's absolutely one thing Hargrove could do that would ensure his victory, and that's to check on whether or not Epsilon is actually gone or not. If he is gone, then too bad, the whole season just goes off like normal, but if he doesn't die, then there's only one thing that can really happen. Chairman Hargrove, the one guy who absolutely needs an AI at all costs just to win this war, would have exactly what he wants. He could probably get his science team to hack into Church's code and potentially just meddle with it and force Church to work with him. Or really, Church has no other option. He really can't do anything but work with Hargrove if he has to. If he doesn't, he'll really just be tortured again, just the way that Leonard Church, the director, did to him. Having this fully functioning metasuit, the super soldier suit, he would essentially be unstoppable, and really the Reds and Blues would be gone by now, and the whole series would have had to just end unless we followed another Red and Blue team. But thankfully, none of that actually happened, and the Reds and Blues and the Freelancers are both still alive, and all is well, assuming that, again, we never actually saw the ending of this battle. The Reds and Blues could have potentially won. They could have also died, we don't know. We'll have to wait until 2017, when Red vs. Blue Season 15 comes out. If there are any other theories you're curious about and you want me to try to cover it, I'd be more than happy to. I'm really at a loss of ideas at the moment. Expect maybe some Red vs. Blue, maybe some Ruby theories coming up soon. There's a lot of speculation on, what if this happened? What if this didn't happen? What if the meta survived in Season 8? What if Washington never joined the Reds and Blues? What if Felix was good? There's so many different theories out there. And I'm willing to cover them all, if you guys just stay tuned. Thanks for watching. And please give me some ideas. Give me some sort of feedback on this theory, on what your ideas are on this topic. And also, please check out my Rooster Teeth account below. I have a few theories down there about Red vs. Blue Season 12, Episode 13, I think, or 14, as well as Ruby and the ending of Volume 3. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for some more, and I'll see you guys next time.